mixin', fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
First carry for James Conner. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Dalton, 1st and 10. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The numbers for Green a week ago. 4 catches, 82 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. For the moment, they're on top of their division, projected to host a wild-card game in the first weekend, but nothing is set in stone. There's a lot of shuffling that can still go on here. They haven't even clinched a playoff berth.
A lot goes into that one word you use, doesn't it? But. You're exactly right, because nothing's clinched. So that means another win is necessary, being able to play to the best of their abilities, because they can go from where they are right now to right out of the playoff race. If things go in the wrong direction for them, they've got to take care of business.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Passing, it's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Dalton. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
2nd down and goal. Dalton, the quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Dalton here from the gun. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. Tyler Eifert past the 20. 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted, and now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Here's Hauschka for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This is taken at his 4. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. From the 44, Roethlisberger, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger. Hard throw, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. all of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. On second down, here's Mixon. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with touchdown number 12 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. I think he's still shaking his head a little. It was his fumble on the previous drive that led to the touchdown that has us tied.
And sometimes it's worse on a runner who drops it like that to watch the other team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Andy Dalton looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
Washington's got it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They go play action with Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a second down. Toss play, Connor. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
It's taken to the 26. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Roethlisberger now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Now it's Connor, and he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. That's on the former Army Ranger, Alejandro Villanueva. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. They run with Connor. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. The Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
This is taken at the 10. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Switzer on the return. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. On 2nd down now. It's Conner, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Joe Mixon. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. 3rd and 2 for Dalton, and Eifert has it. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. On 2nd down, Mixon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton, quick hitter here, it's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. And incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Roethlisberger, and he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Here we go. That's 30. 4 down. Check.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A first scoring update now from Carolina. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. To throw here, Dalton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. From the 40 now on second down. Dalton. And that's complete. It's Green here.
Get ready.
Andy Dalton now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Here's Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
58 for Mike, 58 for Mike. Here we go, D, get off the field.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken at the 3.
Let's go, fellas.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Hey, man, watch the boot.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 38. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Everyone got 4 down.
On 2nd down, Samuels shedding the tackle. And he is going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 27. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
So that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Ben to throw again. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Bengals grab it, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now Mixon, and he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Got an open man, it's Washington. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. It's caught by Davis. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Let's go. Let's go.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball...
And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player... when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
That's our ball, baby. Go in. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run here with Mixon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up fourth down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Elsewhere, they're on to the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Josh Malone, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Hausch could attack on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Only 2 there on the dump-off. It's third down. And the Steelers on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That really sets them back. A loss of 6. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing, Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And it'll be Dalton again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw here, Dalton. That's to his running back, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Oh, yeah! Mike 20. Mike 52, Mike 52. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
You need to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Get in the weight room.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And Dalton to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So that one will be accepted. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Green brings it in. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Josh Malone with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Get ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Again, it's Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now Roethlisberger. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. And it's knocked away and incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Connor. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Again, a run with Connor.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Steelers have won the game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Pittsburgh, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for